Almost got this rig stuck in the sand there. Alright man, so we're here at Orange Beach, Alabama, and I thought I'd make a video of what exactly is a Class C motorhome and what do you expect out of taking a vintage one this far across country. Let's check it out. So if you guys been following along, this is my 1979 Chevy G30 Class C motorhome. I picked it up about 6 years ago, and I've basically done all the mechanical stuff that I need to do. It still needs some work, but we have this is its 3rd trip to Florida. This is probably its 6th trip to Louisiana. And this is almost 100% factory Chevrolet. It's got a 400 small block. It has a turbo 400 transmission, has a 410 rear axle, and it is basically 100% as it would have rolled in 1979. However, we have done a few little upgrades. It's got, you know, a modern AC unit, and all this stuff was done within the last 3 years. All the lighting has been replaced except for the front lights. The holding tanks work good. I mean, it's been a pretty good rig. So here's the engine setup. Again, all the braking system has been redone. It has a large aluminum 4-core radiator. Still has the factory original small block, quadrijet carburetor, exhaust manifolds. I mean, I have tuned it all up, put a new timing chain, all that kind of stuff in it, but like, the thing is in tip-top working order. New battery, this, that, and the other. So, and there is the, I guess you'd call that the SPID of all the things that this thing's got. But what we like to do is we like to hit up the RV parks on the beach. I originally bought this to just go fishing and go mountain biking out of, but as times went on, me and my wife and daughter found out we really love RVing. And this is just kind of a starter rig, you know, because we will be upgrading to something different in the future. But I have just been happy. I love this platform. I think it's the best way to go if you're wanting to get into this kind of stuff. Now, any of you guys would get a newer one, you know, at least something 20 years old. But if you're wanting the same chassis setup, what I would do, I would look for one that's 87 and up, because the problem that I struggle with the most is this thing has a 410 gear and a 3-speed automatic. Well, at 65 miles an hour, even with the larger rear tire that I've got on it, this thing is screaming its head off going down the highway. Like, if you go anything faster than 65, you're really over laboring this machine. And about 87, 88, roughly, maybe 90, they came out with the 4-speed automatic, the 4L80E in one of these. And that, to me, is the way to go on that, because, again, I've rolled up on 1,000 miles now, and like, I'm basically taking the back roads all the way back up through Louisiana and stuff, just to kind of like not push it so hard and everything. But I would say those are the near ranges, or if you can get anything 2,000 newer, you'd be pretty good. But if you want a vintage, it's not undoable. It's just, I know a lot of people wouldn't want to put up with that, you know. But that's really my only complaint about this rig. It's averaging right around 8.5, 9 miles to the gallon. If I push it really hard going on the highway, we have got as much as almost 10 miles a gallon out of this thing. Now, if that gives you any reference, and if you guys have watched any of my videos, my 2002 2500 HD truck gets about 11. And if you've watched Matt's Power Wagon, that Dodge that we do a lot of pulling with, that thing's 10 and a half empty, and when we're pulling, it's getting 8 to 10 miles a gallon. Well, you can't live in those trucks, you can live in this thing. So if that's anything to tell you kind of like, really you think it's bad on fuel, it's really not that bad for all you're getting. And at any point you can pull over and go to sleep. You have all your amenities with you. You got the bathroom, the shower, and I'll show you that, guys, that stuff in a minute. But also, don't be afraid of something like this, because like I said, this still has a quadrijet carburetor, all the factory stuff from '79. like, it's doable. I guarantee it's the only vehicle probably on this whole strip of the coast that's probably still running this factory style stuff, and I would venture to say I'm probably the only guy running a rig like this around. And you gotta, it's crazy when your full suspension mountain bike probably costs as much as this motorhome does. But yeah, one thing that I did do is this thing comes factory with 225/80, so it's roughly like a 29.5-inch tall tire. I went to a 245/85, I believe, and it got us around a 31-inch rear tire, so it makes it go down the road just a little bit easier. I also had to, because when I put these tires on, they were touching in the middle right there, if you see that gap. So I called Bora, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best spacers to buy if you're going to space them out. That way they're not touching, because if they start touching, they'll start rubbing, and I would believe they would cause some heat. But yes, I think it was about $500 to have those two wheel spacers made, and I had to have them custom because of the hub on this Dana 70. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, the holding tanks are working great. I have not dumped them yet. We've used it all week, and we usually stay at places that have restrooms, but still, going down the road, if somebody needs to use the restroom, we can pull over, they can use the restroom. That's what it's for. Especially at nighttime when you're sleeping, you don't want to get and walk 200 yards to a bathroom. You know, you want to just use it there. So let's step inside and I'll show you guys what the inside looks like. Now you guys will have to mind the mess because we have been living in this thing almost a week. But yes, here's the inside of it. Now we have done somewhat of kind of a remodel because this thing was straight 70s out. My wife, working with what she had here, repainted everything, put a bunch of different like wallpaper kind of stuff on it, you know. I did change the seats. It had those really large captain seats, and I found these at that junkyard in Sapulpa, and they're in an old box truck, and they're the exact same kind of truck. And but yeah, surprisingly, this thing, if it just went down the highway a little bit easier, if it had a gear vendors or a 480 in it, this thing would be the perfect cruiser to go down the road. But yeah, there's our upper area, and I'm gonna warn you guys, I'm not much of a carpenter. Usually my stuff is more mechanical that I do, you know, specialize in and everything. But yeah, I mean, there's still some remodeling needs to be done, but our idea, we've had custom shades made for it where you can pull them down. But our main thing was to get out on the road, see things, and get after it, you know, instead of spending all of our time just remodeling this thing. You know, it had a propane refrigerator and a heater in here, like an HVAC system. I removed all that. That was an absolute nightmare. But this is about the extent of my best woodworking I've done. I've kind of boxed this in, and my goal was to put some shelves in microwave. And you can see how my projects go. I've made it this far, put a new refrigerator in it, and then this as far as I've made it. So, but this is a must-have. You have to have a good rooftop AC unit, and you don't want a window unit hanging out of one of these going to the RV parks. They kind of frown on that. I did some stuff to the roof here, and it needs to be addressed. I'm not worried about it right now. You can see my fixes that I've done on it. It's kind of ghetto, but it is what it is. But surprisingly, you can hook water up to this thing. Everything works. Everything's tested. However, I have done nothing to this range in here. I haven't tested it. I haven't used it. All we did was repaint the top of it because we got one of those electric hot plates, and we really do most of our eating out anyway, so kind of see what the areas you got. But you got storage, you got closets. There's all our stuff. Toilet's new. Thing works like a glove. You put that on when you have the water hooked up out there. It's got its own water setup. We've redone the bathtub. We've yet to use it because, again, most of all the places we stay have showers and facilities and stuff, so we really don't need to use that. And again, you can see my kind of scatterbrainness. I've got the pieces to put the latches on that, and I've never finished it. So I'll probably get to that. I don't know. Who knows? But the thing works. Like, I mean, everything in it works. I've also put this lighting here, the recessed lighting or whatever. Any surprise I haven't finished hooking that up either. So, yeah. But what I love about this thing is, like, you don't have to mess with the motel rooms. You don't have to haul all your stuff. Because if, you know, any of you guys have a wife and a daughter and all that kind of stuff, they have to have things with them. and you're the one dragging it around. And with this setup, we can have everything in here, and we don't have to drag it in and out of motels and stuff. And it's just a good setup. I'm really happy with it, you know. So, but I'm trying to think of what else I could show you guys about this thing. Yeah, and another thing is you can just pull over any Love's truck stop, Walmart, whatever, and you can just crash for the night. I mean, literally, you just crawl out of that seat. You never even have to get out. Use the restroom, lay down, you're good for a little while. It's, if any of you guys done it, it's kind of hard sleeping in a car. I've done it, and I will do it, and I'm not done doing it, but, you know. But yes, as I've stated, man, I can't get over. See, I've been to Orange Beach, or west of this area, which to me, I had a good time, but this area down here is way more beautiful near the Presidio Bay or whatever it is. But the Gulf, if you guys got a chance to eat at that place, the mahi mahi is really good. I just got done eating there, and that is top notch. I loved it. But yeah, this is a really cool spot. I like it, you know. But yeah, I don't know what else I could tell you guys about it. One thing, well, I'll tell you another thing I don't care for either, is I didn't know this when I bought it, but these vans are not like a body on frame setup. They are kind of like a Camaro or a Mopar, where they've got like a unibody setup. So the problem, and I don't like this at all, the thing has frame rails like it's a Camaro or something. So if you want to put a receiver hitch on here, and me and Matt were totally shocked that one day when we were going over this thing, but yeah, your frame rails are just not very strong. Super light wall tubing and everything. And this, if you've got about 7,000 pounds worth of car, is coming right off. And we welded up a receiver on this thing so we could carry bikes and stuff. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not for sure I'd even pull a lawnmower with this thing. So one thing I've learned is, like, I am totally down with like riding bikes. I'd ride this whole thing on a bike. However, our families are not down for that. And there's some places I want to get there a little bit more remote that I would like to go explore. However, I'm not going to pull a 5,000 pound car on a tow bar behind this rig because of the way the frame setup is. I don't want the whole back of this thing coming off. And with the cost of like K5 Blazers, and that's what my deal was with the Scout and the Blazers, is I eventually wanted to pull it behind this. I'm not going to have those things come off and kill somebody. So I hate to say it, guys, but when we get back, I'm probably going to list this thing up for sale, and I'm probably going to get something just a bit stronger. But I will tell you, it ain't going to be brand new, and it ain't going to be fancy, because we're not taking the easy way out on this. We're still going to have something we've got, because I like doing the work, and I like having, it's got to be a challenge. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in one of these $200,000, $300,000 rigs that you just stab and steer it. You know what I mean? I want to be tinkering with it and getting out looking at stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if my family likes that as much as I do, but, you know, they just got to put up with me, I guess. I don't know. But, oh, pretty cool plane. But anyways, so yeah, as soon as we get back to Tulsa, I'm probably going to clean this thing up and try to get it up for sale. With that being said, if anybody's interested in this for a good, like, take to the lake, you know, crew, whatever you want to do with it, for what I'm going to ask for this thing, I've compared it with other RVs, and what everybody's getting is stuff that they've inherited. They know nothing about it, and they're putting it up for sale. This thing has had all the mechanicals. I've done all the wheel bearings, the brakes, the like full tune-up, the cooling system. Like, this thing has been tested through the like most humid, hot areas that you can go in the South. Like, I've driven it 100-degree heat. The thing, knock on wood, is great. No vapor locking. If you go through my other videos, you'll see some of the work we've done on it and everything. The tires, the AC system. You see I've redone the slide plates on the tank and everything. Like, really, it needs somebody to put it in their shop and then go through the inside and kind of finish up all the stuff we didn't finish. And I would suggest going with a Gear Vendors Overdrive or a 4L80 with a really good quality controller. That would make this, if it had that, I probably wouldn't be considering selling it, but I'm just, like I said, I want something with just a scotch more room, something that's got a frame underneath of it, and something I can pull a vehicle and all of our gear, and it get a little bit better efficiency and be able to cruise. Again, 65 is about as fast as I want to go in any of them, but I don't want to do it while the motor's almost a red line. Like, that's really, really hard on an engine to be wound that tight. So if anybody's interested, this thing, I would say in the next couple of weeks, once I get back to Tulsa, it's going to be up for sale. And I think for what I'm going to ask for it, I think it would be a great setup for somebody that's pretty handy with like all the carpentry stuff and want to get in there and really get down to the nitty gritty, especially with all the mechanical stuff. And as you can see, I've already ran 1,000 miles. I've got about 790 miles until I hit Tulsa. So if it makes, I mean, we got to make it back. So, I mean, you can't find another vintage camper that's this well tested and that's, you know, got proof, as you can look in my videos and all that kind of stuff, that it's ready to roll. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to try to get back to Tulsa in one piece, and we've got a lot of work to do, guys. So I got some new things I'm going to be showing you guys, and I think it's going to be fun. So, man, I can sit here and watch the boats and planes all day, and I can never get this pointing thing right either. So appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.